Hey guys, custom month is coming to an end, which is sad and happy all at the same time. Sad because it's coming to an end, happy because we're getting into some of my more favorite customs. And this time we're going to be looking at, earlier in a review, I mentioned the fact that I was going to do one mold twice. And that was the Generations 2 Prime mold. And it's time for number 2. This beautiful figure is done by Dark Customs, and it's, as you can see, it's the RID Scourge mold. I had the lights off because I wanted to show the LEDs that he had installed into both headlights. So now we'll get all the lighting back on, so that way we can get into the details of the vehicle. It does freely roll, and trailer can separate. From there, it's a complete contrast to the traditional Generation 2 Prime mold. So all a flat black with a metallic teal flame striping, which is nicely done throughout the entire figure. He was able to make the color of the windows a clear red. Windows on the side are painted black. Silver for all the tanks and exhaust pipes. Very nicely done. You can tell it's a hand painted Decepticon symbol on the side. All around, just a very, very subtle, beautiful figure. Alright, over here. And I didn't attach it there because it just isn't necessary. It does have the sword, which he is also colored red. This is the one place so far that I've really had a lot of paint scraping off of it, which is fine. It's the handle of the sword. It's gonna look scratched up. Alright, then we'll bring up the detailing on the tanker truck. Free wheel. Got everything painted. The tail lights. Nice metal job on there. And the teal flames carried on throughout the entire tanker truck with a very nice large Decepticon symbol on the side. And on the front. Which actually does go in straight. I just rotated it funny. And the reason I say I rotated it funny is because this baby splits. Split it open. Take that piece out. Pull out the gun. Rotate up the stand. Put the gun on, and you have it has a nice little battle platform that also houses another sword. As you can see, he's added a peg over on this side for that sword to lock in. Now it's not the full fan-out battle platform like the original Red Scourge, but actually I think this works very nicely as a touch to the deluxe. It's subtle and makes it different than the original. Alright, we'll get into transforming him quick, because I don't want my LEDs to die. Alright, so flip him over. Most of you have seen this. The transformation is going to be the exact same as any other Generations G2 Prime. For the most part, I'm going to do a few things differently because of who the character is, which you should be able to catch on to. Right. Unlock the hands. Remember there's a tab there, peg there, or peg there, lock-in point there. I'm going to do this part from behind because I really don't want to show off the head yet. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to pop the head off. You don't have to do that. It fits on tightly. I just don't want it to be shown until it's in robot mode because he did such a great job with the head. Flip in both window points. The part I forgot on the review for the Unicron 9.1. And then fan out the arms. Now you still do get a little bit of purple glow from the headlights on the side, but that's just underglow. And then to shut him off, it's just a switch to trip the LED. Same thing on the other side. And that'll, oh, there we go. And that'll shut them off. Make sure the doors are closed up to reveal, or so that you can kind of see the shape of a matrix in there. And rotate up the torso. Slide her down into place. Come around back. Close it up. Flip it down. Rotate the arms back down. Hands forward. Normally you would flip in these panels and rotate the wheels and lock them into place in. But because of the design of the original Scourge, where both the back tires were located on its legs, I think it looks better this way. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some Dark Caves actual pictures with it like this. Because it doesn't hinder any mobility. And it looks very much like Scourge. And now I'll put this on, because this I think is one of the reason I love Dark Cave's work so much, is he does such a beautiful job with head sculpts. Because he could have just grabbed the left the regular Prime head on there, but he didn't. He switched it out with the original Classics Prime head, gave it a nice paint job, detailed it really well. Alright, now let's go over some of the detail work. There we go. And since I was just talking about it, let's take a look at the head. Bright red eyes with a nice matte black covering most of it. A slightly light silver mouthpiece. And then if you look carefully, which the camera's picking up very nicely, there's some teal highlights here and here that just accent the general color pattern throughout the entire thing. Going over here, he left some of the red light piping, which I'm really happy about, out because it gives it a very Scourge feel. The teal throughout the blaster points and the shoulders. Even down to, he's gotten some nice teal highlights on the hands, following through with that full, beautiful black finish. Silver windshield wipers on, and black painted points in between the windows. The I'm going to call it a gunmetal gray abs section with teal highlights there, throughout the entire abs, the dots, the crotch plate, all around the knees, dotted through the thighs, even down to a nice band across the foot. That's a personal preference thing. I like them down because it gives them more stability, but they're not actually necessary. Alright. Let's zoom out quick. Now, accessories. You've seen, because I pulled out two. So far, he does have two swords. Both of them are that very nice red bladed blades. Black that carries through the other parts. Silver on the back. They look very nice. If you don't want them to dual wield blades, the oil tanker piece that I mentioned earlier that I needed to rotate, he's added a peg to the back of it. Just cock in his wrist, and that fits right directly in there to give him a nice shield to defend against. And the final piece, the blaster that for the battle station does have a handle that comes off and gives him a full gun. And for a comparison, because I feel like it's right, I'll put the two primes next to each other. You can just kind of see, because this is more of a repaint, you can see the difference in the head sculpts. What some of the color work can do. Both of which are very good figures, but Dark Cave just did an amazing job taking this from a Generation 2 Prime. Generation 2 Prime that you can get in any store and making it into an actual, basically a Scourge figure. This was a figure that as soon as he announced, I had to try to get it, because Scourge was always my favorite Rid character, one of my favorite toys of all time, just a great villain. And I want to thank Dark Cave for turning into such a beautiful custom. And I look forward to seeing you guys again until the next custom review. Take care.